All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from that little bit of break, and this is the second half of the show, Lessons from My Father. And this is Rare Sense Thoughts on Blog Talk Radio. I'm your host, Harry Shade. I'm glad that you're back with me. So, I shared some things about my dad. I'll talk a little bit more about him and what he did for me and that type of thing. One thing he taught me, I learned to respect my elders. Okay, those that obviously were there before me and were there to teach me some things and lessons and whatnot. And he also taught me to love my fellow man. Okay, he taught me compassion. He was very compassionate man. And even though he wasn't a very emotional man, you still know he cared. Okay, he really enjoyed the family reunions that we did. He liked getting around. He had lots of brothers and sisters. And unfortunately for me, all of them are gone now. But what's not gone is the legacy and stuff from them. Not only my father, but even the rest of the family, his family, things that he taught me. He taught me the value of $1. Okay? And he also taught me to put the best effort forward every single time I did something. And that I would be rewarded in the end for that. So I always give it my very best when I'm doing something, I learned confidence from him. I learned courage from him. And I learned how to cook like an army cook because when he was in Korea, he was an army cook. So I learned to cook things like, cream chip beef on toast, which again was one of his absolutely favorite, meals. Cream chip beef on toast. Again, simple. With peas on the side. Very simple meal for a very simple man. So, I also learned that I could face challenges. And when I faced those challenges head on, to come out stronger and wiser from them. Okay? To not run away from responsibility, but to embrace it. Okay? To be that person, that go-to guy. I really learned from him how to be a man and how to be a father. And those are the types of things that, again, lessons that they weren't always necessarily direct, but just by observing him and how he did things. He wasn't a very big guy either, but he was pretty strong for his size. And again, hard worker. Was out there, he could, for hours upon hours on end, he could do those types of things. And, let me see, I'm trying to think. Oh, another thing that he taught me was the fact that things are not always going to go my way. It's just part of life. But even if they don't, I don't have to be defeated by the situation or be defeated by the challenge, that I could, again, face that. And again, he was a very courageous man. There's a lot of things about him that I picked up on. He spoke his mind, for sure. You knew exactly where you stood with my father. There was no much of a gray area there. It was more black and white. Now, another interesting thing about my dad was he wasn't into technology at all. Now, of course, if you think about it, he passed away, again, coming up on 12 years ago. So, 1998. But still, technology was blooming and blossoming. He didn't have a computer. He didn't feel he needed one. Okay? And so, again, a very simple man. And I find it kind of ironic that I'm introducing him to Facebook and to online radio. So, because even if he was alive today, I tell you right now, there would be no computer. He would not even know what Facebook was. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things I can go back. Another simple thing, he taught me how to bait a hook. Okay? Because we went fishing together on occasion. He loved to camp. He loved to be in the outdoors. And that's something else that I learned. I'm also very much I like being outside and in nature and those types of things. And we took some really wonderful camping trips down to the Great Smoky Mountains and stuff like that. And he loved it. We started out as a family when I was about, I think, 5 years old in a tent. And then went from a tent to a pop-up trailer, and then from a pop-up trailer to this big 23-foot Concorde, sleep six kind of big thing. And we would stay at a campground all summer long. We would take the trailer, park it at the campground. Mom and Dad would go into work, and my sister and I, my brother came along as well too, but because he's 10 years younger than I am. But my sister and I, especially before my brother came along, we had the run of a campground. Literally, we could just, there was swimming to do and fishing and riding bicycles and mini bikes and all that stuff, woods to explore and all these things. And we grew up that way. It was absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, lots of things I learned from my dad. Well, we're getting towards the end of the show. And, you know, what I'd like to have all of you do is to go out every day and be the best person that you can be. Okay? For all you fathers out there, you know, you're teaching your children something new every single day, just in simply being who you are. Okay? So, again, be the best person that you can be. This is what I'm doing to spread the legacy of my father and all the things that he taught me. And so, what can you find positive in what you've been taught by your father, your mother, your aunts, your uncles, all those people that are in your past and the people that are with you today?
90 seconds.
What can you do every day to be better? Well, this is Harry Shade, and you've been listening to Rare Sense Thoughts on Blog Talk Radio. I thank you for being here today, and once again, I hope I was able to impart some information that'll help you be a better you. Please take care of yourself, and like I always say at the end of my shows, is may you be blessed always and in
6
always.
seconds.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.